afterwards to see how
We already started?
yeah, that's how you started. I can't believe you said that, Dino. I can't believe it. You wow.
No, I'm gonna shut the
Unbelievable.
fuck up and give these people the intro.
You're the one that's doing it, you dumbass.
Yes, Ryan, you did the intro then.
Hello, welcome to DeezQuibs podcast episode number 7. Today, what is today? July 28th.
Yes, sir.
We have Dino and Omar.
Uh-huh.
And today's topic is going to be on...
Dino.
What?
Yeah, Dino.
Yeah. So you can tune out of this podcast now and
Oh, that's fucked up. No. Tune in.
So Dino, when were you dropped as a baby?
Good question. I was dropped February 20, 1998. I was born and raised here in my hometown of San Diego.
Yeah, but when were you dropped? You know, when your mom dropped you?
Because I was born, I was dropping right away.
What time though? What time?
Shit. I'd ask my mom. Probably I'd say 3 a.m. Yeah, I was middle of the night baby. So
More like
basically,
middle of the morning.
Yeah, that's not the night. That's not.
Yeah.
Okay, middle of the morning then. So basically, it's funny because I was born in the Navy hospital, and I think that's a interesting hospital. That's an interesting place to start because my family history goes all the way back to, let's say, I'll start in the 1800s.
Jesus.
So this story was told from my great grandma to my grandma to my auntie, who told me and my cousins. So basically, in the 1800s, early 1800s, I think, when Spain was colonizing the Philippines, the head priest was a Spanish guy, and he owned like a big chunk of the Philippines. But he was a gambler, and it's funny because he's a priest, but he was also a womanizer, and he did all the stuff that any like person with power would do. So over time, he would lose the land, and eventually, I think he just gambled all the land away.
What was the priest's name?
Yeah, what was his name?
Shit, some Spanish name, I guess. It was something Demapolis. Ended with Demapolis.
Demapolis? That's wow. Okay.
That's my great grandma's last name. So
Andy Milanakis?
what?
Like Matthew Nollis?
Oh hell no. Hey, back to the story. Now you're gonna get distracted. So back to the story. So basically, my great grandma, I think a few centuries later, so this is like early 1900s, the attorneys at the time told her, like, yo, this your land. Do you want it back? And so my great grandma, she has 9 siblings. So imagine 9 people like yelling on your ear, like, hey, get the land back, it's ours. So obviously, because they could never get along, her and her siblings, she's like, nope, we don't want the land. So that land became the modern day, the church. There's a church, it's a big church, it's called like Iglesia de Cristo. So there's a church in National City in San Diego that is a sub part of it. But basically, the headquarters that they are in the Philippines that land used to be owned to my ancestors, which they decided not to take back. So I could have been a priest. Could have been a prince.
Well, what's that land now? What's it called?
Yeah, what part of the Philippines is that land?
Yeah.
I believe it's either someplace.
San Jose.
It's in the city of Makati or Subic. I need to ask my
Subic? Oh, damn, that's
near Subic
okay.
Bay, near the beach.
What is that like? If I don't know anything about. Like,
Those are just 2 areas in the Philippines. You
So
asked
would
me
that
what land, so I'm giving.
but no,
land.
what would that be relative to here?
It's part of my family story. I'm getting to it. Chill.
Okay, damn.
All right. So that same great grandmother, she had 4 kids. She had a boy and then 3 girls. And the second youngest girl, the 3rd child, is my biological grandma. So the story starts with her. So her husband, my grandma's dad, during this time, it was 1947, it was during World War II when the Japanese people took over the Philippines, she witnessed the Japanese soldier. Well, let me give you some context. So when the soldiers took over their little town in the Philippines, obviously food was scarce, and the soldiers are like destroying everything. They're killing babies, torturing people. So my grandma's neighbor at the time, he knocked on the door, and he was like, "Hey, yo, give me some food." And then my great grandpa, he was like, "Hell nah, we barely got food for ourselves." So the neighbor backstabbed my great grandpa and told the Japanese soldiers that, "Hey, the dude in this house is a U.S. spy." So he lied, and the soldiers barged into the house. And my grandma, she was like 14, 15, 16 at the time. She was very young. She witnessed the soldiers drag her dad, and that's the last time she like saw him like free. Eventually, the past few days, she'd see him. He's getting tortured by the Japanese soldiers. She would tell me a story where they get his hand like this, and they put little rocks in his nails till the nails would like bleed. And then it was like crazy. Then my great grandma, obviously that's her husband, so you would think she's like grieving the hardest. She always like was always very strong. She kept the family happy, and she'd give great grandpa in the camp. She'd give him food while he's being tortured. So that's how she kept like the family up. Then during this time, remember I said they had 4 kids. The first one was the boy. So he was like, "Fuck this shit. You took my dad. I'm gonna join the U.S. Navy. I'm gonna fuck up all these Japanese soldiers." So that's the first person in my family to join the Navy, and that's gonna start a whole like chain of events. So while he's in America getting his ass kicked in boot camp, the U.S. finally took back the Philippines. So in the process of this, the Japanese, as they were retreating, they killed all their prisoners, including my great grandpa.
Oh.
So then, while my grandma's brother was he was the first Filipino in our family in America. He was living it up. He had American money. He was like rich. So he came back to the Philippines to tell our family, "Hey, let's move to America." So my grandma and her husband, my grandpa, he had a plan to get the family to America. His master plan was all his kids to join the Navy. So my grandma and grandpa would have 4 kids, and my dad was the 3rd child. So they had 4 boys, and the 3rd youngest was my dad. So my grandpa's plan was for all of them to join the Navy, because the more you're in the Navy, the higher chance you come into America. He was happy. He was like, "Oh, well, I'm going to get some American pussy." And he looked at my
Facts. Big facts.
Then my grandma was like, "The fuck?" So eventually, as time went on, the uncles and my dad joined the Navy. But tragedy struck. My grandpa, he didn't make it. And he died before my family moved to America. But before he died, he was able to see his first child, so my oldest uncle. He was able to see him join the Navy and make it to America. So that was the last thing he saw before he died. Then, lo and behold, my family made it. Now, 1998, the story begins.
To one Gloria James on December.
Yep, that's where it all began. So I grew up, I'd say my childhood was spent in National City. So for people who don't know where National City is, it's kind of like...
It's in San Diego.
I would say it's like inner city. It's pretty ghetto. Like it's not the richest town, but since my parents at the time, they're straight from the Philippines, that was all we could afford. So yeah, we were looking at the pictures. I don't remember too much because I was a baby and I was very young. Well, I just remember like just living in that area. And at the time, both my parents were working. Like my dad was a corpsman in the Navy, and my mom was an engineer for this medical company. So my grandma raised me like most of my like babyhood / childhood. Then in 2007 was when I moved to Chula Vista, which is where I'm currently living. And that's where I met you guys.
Biggest mistake, yeah.
I fucked up. That much of. So basically, yeah, I think 2007 was, I think it's my first like early memories that I can really recall like really well. And a lot it's crazy because a lot of the friends that I've made in elementary school, I'm still friends with them today, like you, Ryan, and not you, Omar.
No, yeah.
Nope.
PG.
Nope. So then, I guess some veteran stories. There isn't really much that.
What's veterans? Is that
Veterans is my elementary school in Chula Vista. So when I moved, I guess the only things that stand out to me was our fourth grade class, Ryan. So I'm pretty sure I think other schools do this, but me and Ryan's fourth grade class specifically, we had, I don't know what the teachers are trying to do, but I guess we had classroom money, right?
Oh my
It's
god.
fake money, but you use it to your own benefit. So let's say you need to use the restroom, you pay $5 and you use the restroom,
Yep.
and then every month you got to pay rent. So you're
For the desk.
Yeah. So then, yeah, if you don't pay rent, you lose your desk. You got to sit on the floor with a bucket, and the bucket's where you can have like your textbooks, your folders, your utensils.
Hey,
Did
didn't
they
we
tell
have
you how to be
auctions
homeless?
too?
Wait, what was that?
Didn't we have auctions too?
Yeah. So at the end of every, I'd say quarter of the year, we have auctions here and there, and you can buy people's stuff. It's like a show and tell that you can sell.
It was a show and tell.
It's a good concept because you learn like the value of money.
Yeah, at fourth grade. What the fuck?
So the reason I'm bringing up that story is because
you bought Ryan.
I learned corruption, death, and heartbreak in fourth grade at the age of 8. My personal story was I was pretty well off. The reason I was well off was because remember Ryan, every day we'd have the multiplication test.
Yeah, dude, that shit was easy. Easy.
Basically, you have a sheet of just multiplication problems, like 2 times 3, 3 times 12.
It was under 4 minutes, right? Under 5 minutes?
No, 1 minute, isn't it?
I think it was 1 minute, yeah, or 2 minutes.
Basically, the teacher puts a timer for 2 minutes, and you got to complete the sheet. And if you don't, you have homework. And if you do complete it, you get money. So that's why I was well off, because I always completed it.
Yeah, me too.
So I made my money. So I was able to sit. I remember I was so rich. I was able to pay off my desk, and I was the landlord of my whole section. So the kids who were sitting on my table, they got to pay me. So I'm making money. Fourth grade, 8 years old. So this is where the corruption happens. So we had I remember, Ryan, we had there's a time when we talk about mission. We had like a little history.
Oh, the mission classes. Oh yeah, we did visit a mission too. Fourth grade, we did. Yeah.
Yeah. So you talk about the churches and the missions, like the priests at the time, how they built.
We were all assigned projects to model one after the father or priest's manner, I should say.
Yeah. So basically, we're learning about history, and then it led up to learning about the gold rush. So in our class, we had a little gold rush simulator, where the teacher let out popcorn seeds, and then you have to basically get as much gold as you want. So basically, while I was getting my gold, the people at my desk, the people that were living in my desk, when I was the landlord, like I said, they had the audacity to go into raid my own desk while I was collecting gold. So obviously, I had no idea this was happening.
So they took your money.
They took all my money.
Dude, you got robbed.
They took some of my notebooks. Dude, they took a lot of shit. So then obviously, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh, so I'm missing all my money. And all of a sudden, everyone here is rich. All of a sudden. Then everyone's like, oh, don't worry, bro. I just got a lot of gold. But I know, I'm 8 years old. I know, I smell bullshit when I see it.
Wait. I mean, that could just be you're a bad landlord. That's why.
Could be.
Yeah.
Wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. I'm 8 years old. I'm just being a good student. So obviously, I tell her, Miss Saros, they took my money, and then she just she thinks I'm lying. She thinks I'm just trying to get some more money. That's when I knew the justice system was corrupted.
Maybe she didn't like snitches. That's why she's like, get the fuck out of my face.
Bro, it was so obvious. The kids at my table, They were like they're kids who are barely affording rent. They're affording rent. They're barely getting by. And I was the famous landlord. So obviously, when we're around, I lost my desk. The landlord lost his desk.
That's
I was
irony.
homeless because I stole my money. Dude, there's times that, you know how bad it got? I didn't want to use the restroom because I wanted to save that $5.
Jesus.
Bad it got, bro. That 4th grade.
Wait, Dino, did you sell anything at the auction? I remember selling a lot of shit back at the auction back then.
I remember at the time I sold like books, but it was just like $60. It wasn't anything crazy.
Damn. Because I sold like, what the fuck did I sell that day on one of the auctions? I sold my Dodge, like my toy Viper car, and I sold like 4 games that day. I
And then you
remember
sold-
because what?
You sold Dino's desk too?
No. Like that day
A
too.
little bit of bud.
I think like someone like people like split the shit I sold, split the money so they could buy the shit I sold. And then after that, I remember like, okay, I have enough money to own my desk, so I just like went to my accountant or banker at the time.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
The
I
fucking
just sold-
that's right. We had jobs.
yeah.
I forgot what my job was. Oh, I was like the bookkeeper. So if you were to check out a book, you got to tell me. Bro, I was working double shifts, dude. I needed that money. After all they stole from me, I had to be double bookkeeper. Well, yeah, dude. From 4th grade, I learned life was rough, man. The people who give you money are the ones that take it from you as well.
That's actually pretty true. That's actually really true.
Mm-hmm. Well, basically, that's just 4th grade. That
was
sums
4th
up
grade.
how 4th grade went.
You got robbed.
Yep. So that was like 2008. So the year after, my 5th grade, that was the first time I had to sign the behavior log where they call your parents. So basically, I think that's the first time I learned that I had an ego. Because you know how when you're a kid, you just like you're just
You can never tell if you have an ego or not. You never can, to be honest.
Yeah, so basically how I realized it was so my dad gave me a Pop-Tart. Like I was supposed to eat it for lunch. And that was, keep in mind, I'm in my house, that was the last Pop-Tart that day. So that's why I really wanted to eat it. Obviously, like some people are like, dude, it's just a Pop-Tart. But it was the last Pop-Tart. So it had some value to it. So basically in my bag, because you know how everything's always like jumbling around? So the corner was ripped just a little bit.
It crumpled a bit.
Yeah, and my teacher at the time, Miss Brinks, she saw it and she's like, Dino, I'm taking this away from you. There's no eating in class. Then I was trying to tell her like I didn't open it. It was just naturally like this. And then she gave me attitude. I remember this. I think that's when I made me mad. She was like, yeah. It's always open. It opened on its own. So keep in mind, I'm 9 years old. That's the last Pop-Tart. I'm willing to risk it all.
You do realize, yeah, your dad's probably like, I could just go to the store and buy you another one.
Exactly. But that's when I know I had an ego, because I was like, I wasn't going to in my head at the time, I was like, I wasn't going to let her get the best of me. Like, I wasn't going to let her win. That's what I was thinking. Then usually when we get sent for lunch, the class lines up, and then she says, go to lunch. Then we all go. So basically, while everyone was lined up, I was the last one to line up. Then I went back inside and I grabbed the Pop-Tart. I think she was going to give it back to me at the end of school. This is what I'm thinking. But basically, like I said, I wasn't going to let her beat me. So I grabbed the Pop-Tart. And then she's smart. We're all little kids. So she was like, all right, the class isn't going to go back until someone finds out where Dino's Pop-Tart went. And so I was hiding it in my bag. So like, I was where it went.
So obvious, man.
Yeah, so I'm pretending to look. I'm pretending to look under my desk and I was looking behind the bookshelves.
Mm-hmm.
So then there's this one kid. I ain't gonna say his name, but let's just call him T. He was like, wait a minute, let's check Dino's bag. Then I
Who
said,
said that? Wait, someone stitched you up then?
yeah, I was like, back the fuck up. But keep in mind, there was like 8 people grabbing my bag. So eventually they got it, they opened it, and they found it. The Miss Brinks, this is where she tested me. She was like, Dino, is that the Pop-Tart? Yeah, if I said yeah, I think she would be like, why are you, I would be like, why are you taking it? But I lied. I was like, no, it's a different one.
It's a different one.
With the same rip. Yep, the same rip. Like I told you, my ego was like was taking over. So she's like, okay. She acted like nothing happened. So basically, we got sent to lunch.
Oh, it's Miss Briggs. She's gonna beat the fuck out of you.
We have a disturbance. Mom, leave. Leave. We're doing something.
What you're calling me? You said
leave. What are you doing? I'm recording.
You said leave.
Leave.
You said leave like that. Leave. And then once you say leave.
Look at this. Look at this.
He said leave. Leave. So.
Leave.
Mom, I'm telling a story. Get out. Get out of my room. Okay, leave.
This is your room. This is my house.
You still got the ego, huh?
Yeah, you got the ego.
Right?
You still have the ego.
Get out. He said, get out of my room.
All right,
this is my house.
Oh my. Leave. Mom, leave.
You need to.
See, guys, you heard it here first. I'm moving out.
Yeah.
I'm done. Mom, leave.
You're moving out.
Jeez.
Where's your money to
Look at
move
this.
out?
Guys, please. Please.
Auntie.
Hello.
Please donate.
You want to buy t-shirt?
Mom, just leave now, please. Jeez.
Someone still has the ego there.
I
You
know,
took your
right?
Pop-Tart, what? You
Yeah,
fucking-
dude.
Yeah.
Rude.
Mom, leave.
You're rude.
Mom, it's important. I'm trying to make some. I'm trying to make
You're-
25
you're
cents off this
MLB.
podcast.
This is the best moment of the podcast so
I
far.
know, right? What the fuck?
All right,
This is the
sorry
best moment.
for the disturb it. That was not planned. Shit, fuck.
Yeah, you still have the ego. You still have the ego. That's all I know.
Bro, I'm trying to tell the Pop-Tart. See, it's stuff like that why I can't get the Pop-Tart. Oh, so yeah, so going back to the story. Yeah, like you said, I think the teacher acted like nothing happened. So when we came back that lunch, the class said she said get to the rug, and she said Dino go outside. So I knew something was up, and yeah, she told me she was telling how lying is bad. And then in my head I was like, I wouldn't have lied if you didn't take my Pop-Tart. So you see, I was like a petty little kid. So eventually, so she lied to me. This is where she said sign the behavior log, and I won't call your parents. So I did what she said. I signed the behavior log, and I reported what I did. I was lying. That's what I was getting in trouble for. Then she still called my parents. Once again, this justice system is flawed, man. Back-to-back years, I was lied to. So basically, yeah, I had to do it. My parents knew what happened. They would be so pissed. So I had to, you already know, I had to intercept the message. But I usually get home from my parents. So I intercepted it. She was explaining, like, Dino lied. And, I was making a big deal off the Pop-Tart. So not only did I delete the message, but the behavior log, I forged my parents' signature.
Oh my god! Please tell me you didn't caught for that one. Please tell me. You
Did
didn't.
not get caught to
Okay.
this day. To this day.
I mean, your mom's right outside the door, so she probably.
Hey, that's the case. To this day, still haven't gotten caught. So that was 5th grade.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so my 6th grade, my last year at elementary school, I think nothing crazy really happened. It was just 6th grade camp. I think
It's pretty droll.
basic. Yeah, I didn't get in trouble. Oh, I think no, that wasn't me. It was at the 6th grade camp. Yes, I did. I remember now. So as soon as we get to camp, remember it's just a bunch of little kids.
Oh, what camp did you go to?
It was Camp
Marston.
Marston in
Oh, same. I went to that one too.
Camp Marston was dank.
Yeah, so the teacher, our scoutmaster for our area, he's introducing everyone. Then I was with my friend, let's just call him Gregory Wilson. And I forgot we were talking about baseball or something like that. And then the camp master, he went out to see what we're talking about. And as soon as he went out, I was cussing. I said, Trey, you better shut the fuck up, bitch. The camp master, keep in mind, we're like 12-year-olds. The camp master is like, excuse me, sir, what did you say? And I said, bitch. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I should have said the word. Then he was like, there's no foul language like that over here. And I said, sorry. Well, that's the only thing like, I got in trouble for, 6th grade. Other than that, yeah, I think nothing else happened. So I guess the year after 7th grade, middle school, I think that's when my friendship with Ryan, I think, grew. Because I would see him every morning. He was always at the table. Did you take the bus to school, Ryan?
I did take the bus to school. Yeah.
See, I was one of the privileged kids, so my dad dropped me off. And all the other kids, they took the bus, so I was
Must be nice, my guy.
Yeah, must be nice to not take the school bus.
After all that, the judicial system the elementary school was giving me, I deserve not to take the bus. So basically, in middle school was a very interesting time. It was weird. It's like because you're hitting puberty, so you become more self-conscious of yourself.
So you beat your meat then?
What the fuck? Well, that was the first time. I'll give you that. It was during that time. But like I said, you're hitting puberty, so
I mean,
it's
you're not
expected.
wrong.
But it was weird. I just remember, like overnight, people. It wasn't just me. I think everyone in middle school, you just became self-conscious. Like, did you guys feel like people were judging? That's why everybody has like, the awkward bowl haircut, because I think it's like I don't know how to describe. It's like a sign of aging. Like everyone goes through that phase.
Everyone went through a phase in middle school.
It's either you had a bowl cut or you had a buzz cut.
Yeah, basically, huh?
Yeah, you're down to those two. You had
I had a buzz cut. I definitely had a buzz cut.
Yeah, I had a buzz cut too. Yeah.
So basically, I think in middle school, all I remember was just very weird. And in 8th grade, it was the same thing. Luckily, our middle school was just 2 years, so it went by pretty fast. Now high school, I think freshman year was, I'd say it was interesting. I think it was like a more relaxed middle school, how I describe it. Because you're with the same people, but at the same...
Ito na yung
Oh, we're being distracted. Mom, wait, we're filming something.
Sukatin mo.
Later, in an hour. In an hour. I can't do this now. Mom, in an hour. Jeez. Guys, look at help. Look at this abuse.
Sige na. Upisin mo na. Sige,
Later in an hour.
Hindi.
We need to finish this.
Sandali lang.
Oh my
Pag
God.
suot mo to, tapos na. Sige na.
Guys, you're gonna wait until you put a shirt on.
Take it off. Take it off.
Hey,
Take it off. Take it
Not
off.
safe for work on this episode. What the?
Let's see it. Let's see it.
Oh, he put it over his shirt.
Ah, boo.
You know, he's now putting on a shirt, a black colored shirt.
Yeah, there. No, my shirt's on.
Tayo.
Or his mom yells at him.
That's the right one for your
He's
size.
standing up.
Man. Ooh, you got that cake. Ooh.
The large one.
No, medium's good. Yeah, it's good. It fits.
Hey, dude.
This is the
Okay, now leave again, please. Moving a podcast.
this is the wardrobe portion of the podcast.
Yep.
Jeez, I need to lock on my door.
Okay, come back in an hour.
Oh my God.
It's already an hour.
Guys, help. Tell her to leave.
Hello. Bye-bye.
Hello.
Okay, go. Go, no, that's enough. It's enough. You're done.
Hey, did you hear about the Pop-Tart? Oh, she left.
Jeez, man. Where was I?
You said middle school, a freshman year high school was like a relaxed middle school.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so getting used to high school, it just felt like middle school all over again. And then sophomore year was interesting. That's when I joined the volleyball team. So it's the first time I've did like an activity like that. And it was an interesting process because I never played volleyball prior to joining the team. So at first it was weird because I was just getting used to just how to play in general. Then they put me into games and like crazy like gameplay scenarios.
What was the best game you had?
Oh, thanks for asking. I think the peak of my talents, my JV team, was we went to a school called Montgomery. That was the only game that I did I think I did the best in. Like I got like over 7 kills or 7 points for
7 kills.
I killed 7 people, and I'm not afraid to do it again. Basically, what the highlight of that game was the coach said to put it away. He said, if you don't hit this ace, which is basically get a point off the serve, then the whole team's running. Because we were at game point, so you might as well put the game away. So I couldn't fuck up. And I did it. So I felt like we're getting a buzzer beater in a basketball game.
And then you were on SportsCenter top 10, right?
Yep. And they put my jersey in the rafters. Forever known. Legend. So basically, yeah, that's the highlight of my sophomore year. And in junior year, I think not much really. I took AP US History, like everyone else.
Yep.
Yeah, my teacher was Uguay. From Panda. Turtle D. Dawson. Basically, just think of the Kung Fu Panda turtle. Think of him teaching an AP US History class. And then I think that class was what brought all the high schoolers together because we all we had like a clean way of cheating. I don't know how to describe it. Like we had a group chat with everyone in our class. People were sharing answers and stuff. Like it just brought everyone closer. Just taking that class.
Cheating brought everybody.
Yeah,
He brought everyone together.
Yeah.
He talked about it because the days we have exams, he was always wondering why is first period have the worst scores, then second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. It gradually keeps getting better and better, even to the very end, like the final exam. It got better.
So first period would always take the shot.
Yep, they're the big class.
So they were the sacrifice then.
Yeah.
Yup. So basically, yeah, that is just the highlight of junior year. And then to my senior year, I think that was probably my favorite year of high school, just because I think classes was like easy. That's when I first met you, Omar. That's the first time we had an English class together.
That was senior year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything was fun. We had prom, we had grad night, and I think, yeah, typical. It was just a fun year. I think it was a good way to end high school.
What was that one book we read?
Oh, that was about good question, dude. I totally forgot about that. So for people who don't know, our senior year in Olympian High School, your English class isn't a regular English class. It's more of a year-long project. And the project was based on a book. Oh, thanks for reminding me.
Wasn't thank you for your
So
service?
that being
That was
said,
the book. Thank you for that was the book.
yeah, with that being said, so when choosing the
Oh, here
do
we
your
go again.
project?
Oh,
you
I
basically
know
get
what
to choose
I know
whoever
what
you
he's gonna
want.
talk about.
And me and Omar, we sat next to each other. We're good friends. So you would expect him to be in my group, right? Not only that, his friend was also in my group, and our other friend. So we were expected to be a group. But no, this dumbass ditches us. We're his running friends.
Hell yeah!
So where did they run to? Nowhere.
Bitch.
They ran nowhere.
We
Y'all
got an
got
A.
a
What
D
the
plus.
fuck?
Y'all got a D plus. We got
No, we got an A. We were actually
B
like the
plus.
semifinalists. We were the semifinalists.
Semi-finalists.
No, we actually were. We were the best class.
Say psych right now.
Out of our fourth period, we were actually our best. Out of the
Bro,
whole.
wasn't yours the one that was unedited for like 3 hours straight?
We didn't have no.
Yeah, it was.
Yours is the one that used the song Rambo from Bryson Tiller.
Yo, like, people can relate.
With the Bryson Tiller song?
At the time, yeah, Bryson Tiller was at his peak.
Oh yeah.
In 2016. So basically, yeah. So Omar screwed us because we had to. Our group firepower was basically lessened, and because of that, some people had to do other roles that they didn't want to do. So the potential of our group was capped.
Hey, but it taught you video editing, right?
I was the one who edited the videos.
Never mind then.
It got me aware of it, but it wasn't. It didn't teach me.
Well, you heard of injustice from your fourth grade,
There
so there you go.
Justice
There you go.
continues on.
You're
Injustice.
still crying about it after 4 years.
Not crying.
You're still crying.
Preaching.
What?
Not crying, but preaching.
Oh,
Preaching
God, that's
about
crying.
Justice.
Oh, you're crying.
Oh, where's the final? Where's the final list now? That's what
It's 4 years past high school. That's what it is.
psych. Yeah,
Let it go.
My project's still in the rafters. Yeah. All right. So after high school, after leaving that shit place, after San Diego State University. So originally, what people don't know is my cousin. He's a UCSD graduate. So my family was very. We have high praise for UCSD. So growing up, I always thought that was my target school. Like I always wanted to go to UCSD. But because we had the Compact for Success, and so for those who didn't listen to the other podcast, the Compact for Success is a program in me and Omar's high school, not Ryan's. Oh, well, it is in Ryan's high school.
Yeah, it's a whole
in the whole district.
So basically, any Chula Vista high school, if you did these classes and got decent grades, like a B or a 2.0, at least a C, and you do all the classes, you get guaranteed admission to San Diego State.
Basically, it was basically if you didn't get a D or F, you're in.
Yeah. Basically, you just got to do the classes. So basically, it was easy access to university, so why not take it? So basically, yeah, so originally my target school was UCSD, but opportunity-wise, it would have been dumb for me not to go the SDSU route. So fast forward to 2017, our freshman year of college.
2016.
2016 is your freshman year, dude.
Yeah.
No, but we graduated high school 2016.
Yeah, but then fall semester.
Yeah, you start
2016 is
fall.
freshman year.
Okay, 2016,
Christ.
that time. So during that time, reunited with Ryan. That's actually where DeezQuibs began.
2017, freshman
Yeah.
year. Mm-hmm.
So like if you've seen the previous podcast, our idea for the channel was to make skits, but eventually, just trying to discover our channel's identity led to making us making podcasts. So I'm glad we're still doing the journey, and that's where it began. So going back to my freshman year of college, I think at the time the funny thing was I thought it was hard as fuck. Because if you compare no matter what, if you compare college to high school, like high school is a cakewalk. You can get away without studying. In college, my freshman year, dude, I thought it was crazy. Like I'm like, I have 4 years of this bullshit. I thought I wasn't gonna last. But then next semester it gets harder. So obviously as it gets harder, you kind of just get used to the grind. So I think as long as you don't give up, you should be fine. But then still in my freshman year, me and Ryan, we had a communications class. And I think that will always be the highlight of my freshman year because that class is just like
just fucking troll, dude.
it's too troll, dude.
Two trolls.
Our classmates knew, like me, Ryan, and our group, we were like the clowns. So whenever like one of us said something, right away that grew like laughter. The whole class was laughing. And if one of us was presenting, it was a comm class, so you got to give speeches. If I were to say something funny, Ryan would just do like some funny ass laugh. It didn't make the speech better. The whole class was like laughing. But I have to share, Ryan, when we did the YouTube present. So
Oh God, please no.
you had to present with a partner. Then me and Ryan we just fresh like started DeezQuibs.
Yeah.
We want to tell the class about the YouTube community and the lifestyle. Just basically present the idea of YouTube and what it's about. So I think we were the first ones to go. So keep in mind it was 8:00 in the morning.
It was pretty early. We were pretty dead.
And majority of college kids, they stay up very late.
Yeah.
So they're dead in the morning. So me and Ryan, we're the very first ones. Like we were dead ourselves, but because we're presenting, we had the adrenaline going. So we just bombed it. I wouldn't say we bombed. We did our part. I think it's just our jokes wasn't hitting. Like no one.
Well, it was pretty early in the morning. You gotta give it that too.
Then Ryan did a good joke. At the time we had this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle meme going on. Ryan had a clever way of presenting it, like an inside joke the class had was you need to have clicker questions. You need to have this device where you answer questions. So we being creative. We snuck one in as a joke. But the class was fucking dead, man. No one laughed. And then we felt the tension. but we had to carry on, and at the end of the day, I think our class they enjoyed us, so that's all I could take away from it. Then my sophomore year of college was I think that was the first time I failed a class, like ever in my life. Even church school, I never failed church school. Almost failed, but college was the first time I actually did. And the funny thing was, it was my major. It was a computer science class. So obviously, being the young, naive kid, I was like, fuck this major, I'm gonna switch. But also being naive during that break, I was like, I'm gonna change majors, but I'll figure it out as we get closer. So eventually the next semester started and I didn't change my major. So in a way, you can say I forgot to change it. And ever since then, I just kept up with it. Now I'm about to graduate with the same major. So I learned very early, don't give up, because I think you just got to keep, like I said, you just got to keep going. I think the moment you're screwed is the moment you stop. You can get fucked. The injustice system could fuck you over in the ass so many times, but if you're still going, you're still winning. That's what I can take away from my sophomore year. In my junior year, it's crazy. That was just last year. So junior year was not actually not much about school. Well, actually, what?
That was last year.
Yeah, we're technically seniors now.
Oh yeah.
So basically, my biggest takeaway from last year wasn't so much about school, because obviously you're used to college now, but it's about I think just learning about people and being more into the clubs that me and Ryan are in. So I was a Kuya. I was a Kuya
Sophomore year.
So that was the first time like I have people under me. Then last year was when I think at the peak of just being around everyone. Remember when we go to school, Omar, we always had the same hangout spot. We see the same people.
We did?
Yeah, bro, I was at the center, the commuter center.
SLL.
No, we used to go to the library, remember?
Last year? That's 2 years ago.
No, your junior year.
Oh, fuck.
Your junior year, we used to hang out in the library, like on the third floor.
I totally skipped the whole basically, yeah, that happened. More class than friends. But last year specifically, I think just being involved with the clubs more. Not learning about in school, but learning about just people in general. Like how to have a quality relationship with someone, how to like maintain your friends, how to just have the biggest takeaway was just having a good relationship with yourself. I think like I learned about myself through everyone. And that's what I'm still doing today. Then I guess that's my whole timeline of school up till today. Because right now, as we're recording this, we're currently in our senior year. Ryan's freshman year.
Yeah.
Right. Well, he's starting, so that's why.
I'm switching majors, that's why. Mm-hmm.
So basically, just to rewind a little bit back to senior year of high school. When I turned 18, that was the first time I got my first job. And I got a job at a local Subway by my house. And I'm pretty sure everyone knows who Subway is, but for the rare people who do not know what it is, Subway is a deli sandwich shop.
American sandwich shop.
Yeah, you buy like ham sandwich, turkey sandwich, Italian sandwiches. So basically, that's where I made my first paycheck. And it was interesting. I think the biggest thing I learned from Subway was just, I think the whole idea of customer service was like, because I'm getting paid to give people a product, which is a sandwich. Then this is where the learning comes in, because like how everyone's different. Some people, like, you don't know what they're going through. So there's people who come in every day and are always happy and always greeting. And at the same time, you have people who are always, like, you wonder how long can they stay mad? Like every day they're mad. The same customer, they're regulars, so they're always mad and they're always rude. So I learned that, like, just the different types of people. But the biggest thing I learned was working with other people and the difference with working with a manager and then not working with a manager. So everyone was all friend. It was funny because our subway, all the workers were friends, but the higher ups, the manager and the supervisor, no one didn't like them. Well, except I was cool with everyone just because like I didn't find issues with them. With my coworkers, we were all the same age except the manager and supervisor. So they're like, this guy's annoying. The manager's annoying. He's a little bitch. So when we're all working with the manager, everyone's so uptight. Everyone's working, and the store is doing well. Then when the manager is not there, everyone's stealing cookies, stealing sandwiches, stealing chips. No, and then we always fight whoever gets the customer because no one wanted to do it. No one wanted to do their job. Then the reason I would fight is because I would say like, "Yo, I got the last 10 customers. It's your turn, bruh." But it's always a constant like, nah. But like I said, we're stealing sandwiches, so that opened the door to creativity. So I would make like the most like outrageous sandwiches that you've probably never heard of. Like for example, I would make something called a dankwich.
I mean, you can customize your own sandwich. It's not so.
No, but if you were to do it that way, it's like really expensive because now you're paying topping. But me, I was employed, so free 99. So I made like a dank, which was basically like I caramelized the onions through the toaster. But I made it exclusive, my Subway only. But basically, those days came to an end when I got my current job. In my current job, I'm not supposed to be disclosing too much, but I just know that I work for the government and the police force. And that's all I gotta say. So I guess leading up, I think that's all I gotta share.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, up to this point, I covered all my school years and my jobs. You guys have any questions for me?
No, I think I had questions throughout the thing.
No questions.
Yeah, where's your mom? I want to see her again.
Hell no, she's outside. Have you writing any questions?
Do you miss Subway?
Yes and no. I miss I think I miss just the people and just having like a routine. But actually no, I think that I really think about it, I think I had no issues with it. I'd say I didn't like sometimes how the managers treat the workers, but that's just like minimal compared to like my whole experience there was always a good time. I've never regret it.
Do you regret one thing out of the whole thing you told your whole life?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd say I have an interesting story about this. Thanks for bringing it up. So this one's actually kind of a sad story, but I think it has a good lesson behind it. So back to in the beginning, my family history, more my grandpa, the last thing he saw was my uncle. He joined the Navy before he died. So that same uncle, he passed away last March 2019, so a year ago. And before he passed away, the reason was what the lesson I learned was I think he was always like not very healthy. He was always sick for the longest time. But me being like a naive kid, I didn't really like pay attention to it. I always thought he was gonna get better. Like I never thought he was gonna pass. So that Christmas before the March he passed, the last thing he ever told me was I think he called my name and he smiled. And obviously I was like, "Hey uncle, how are you doing?" And we had a little exchange. Then he said, "Are you taking me home tonight?" Because my dad drove him to my house for the Christmas party. We're having the Christmas gathering. So because my dad drank that day, my uncle asked me to drive him home, which I was all for. I was planning to. Then right away in my head, I already pre-planned that on the drive there, I was going to ask him, like, can you tell me stories of Grandpa? because he had the most experience with grandpa compared to my dad and his brothers. And so right before we were about to go, my dad was like, "Don't worry, I'm sober. I'll take him home." And I was like, "Okay, you take him home." Then I was like, "I'll ask him about grandpa another time, next time I see him." Like, little did I know, that was the last time I was ever going to see him. The next time I would see him, he was in the hospital. And he was already, like, brain dead, so he couldn't speak. But he can move his hand. I think I held his hand and he squeezed it. So that was my last interaction with him. When I was younger, when my parents were working, he played the grandpa role. Him and my grandpa, like, took care of me. Well, yeah, the lesson there was, like you said, do you regret anything? I don't regret how it went down because at the end of the day, he got to end his Christmas with my dad, which is, I think it meant more to my dad than me. So that's why I don't regret it. But I think, like I said, like, now I'll never hear what his stories were. Like, the only thing I know about my grandpa will be limited to, like, everyone else but him. And he's the one with the most, like, stories. So yeah, I think that I regret waiting. I guess that's what I can say. Yeah. Sorry I got so dark, but I think
Nah, it's fine. What the?
No, that's cool. That's cool, man.
Is there something?
like, I guess I'll continue. I think
Yeah.
to continue off is on March when he passed away. I think I really learned a lot about myself because obviously when someone he was the closest person to me to pass away just because he was like anyone who loses a grandpa, especially one that, like, raised you. So a lot of my mannerisms, the way I cuss and, like, speak Tagalog, was from him and my parents. So I think trying to understand why he was so unhealthy and what led to him passing, I think I learned about myself. I learned, like, to be more aware of yourself. If that makes sense. Like, a lot of times when you guys make decisions, your mind or your ego is always like saying, "No, don't do this," or it's always contradicting you. The reason I learned that is because when he was really sick, what was truly making him sick? You know what I mean? Wasn't like he was just like being lazy or not taking care of himself, but there's something in his head that was, like, forcing him to live unhealthy. So when I really, really looked into that and like just thinking about it, then I learned, like, just to be aware of your mind and your ego, because it's always very negative. People don't know this, but people are addicted to negative thinking, whether you like it or not.
That's true.
That is true.
You're always yourself's biggest critic. So when my uncle passed, I feel like his passing made me really look into it. And that's the biggest, I guess, takeaway that I can get from that experience.
Is there anything you would change from the past?
Oh shoot, we have another guest. Look at this. Why people always interrupting, man?
Oh shoot! It's a dog.
It's the
a
loaf
corgi.
of bread.
We're soon lay down. Oh, what was your question again? Sorry. People interrupting all the time, man.
Is there something you would change in the past, though?
From my past? No. Nothing. I think everything happens for a reason, and I guess at the end of the day, I think I'm still a 22-year-old kid. I think there's still a lot to learn in my life, but based on how my life is right now, can't complain. Money's good. I have you guys. I have loyal
But do
friends.
you? No, I'm just playing.
Oh shit! That changes everything. I knew he was fake all along.
I was the one who stole from you in 4th grade.
Yeah. I told you, man. This injustice system, man. It happened to me 8 years old. It can happen to anyone. I guess I'll close it out with one more thing.
Oh no, we have Irish listeners. I guess we should mention that.
True. Yeah. Shout out Ireland.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Thank you,
Thanks for
Dublin.
the
Yes.
support, guys.
I mean, there's more than Dublin, but Dublin or
Yes. Yes. Thank you, all of Ireland. Bless your souls.
Thank you, Ireland. You guys are the real ones.
yeah.
Oh, Dino, question for me, by the way.
Ask it.
Since now I work with like food and whatnot, do you have any tips or advice on how to handle rushes?
Ooh. For rushes, I'd say my biggest tip is to stay present. I think it's easy to get stressed out because you're looking at you're judging it from the size of the line, right? So right away in your head, you automatically negatively you think like, oh fuck, it's gonna be forever, like it never ends. Well, what I mean by stay present is like just focus on the current person. And if you focus just you know how in SpongeBob Squidward asked SpongeBob, he said, "Fine dining and breathing is all you know, nothing else." So I'd say apply that all you know is the customer in front of you. You don't know anything else. The moment you stop thinking about that customer, you think about the next customer, then you're stressed out. So you gotta stay present and just stay in the motion. When I was first starting Subway, dude, I think I always get like stressed out.
Like overwhelmed?
Because yeah, when I'm focused on just the current customer, the quality of the sandwich I was making was a lot better. And if you're focused on just rushing and trying to be as fast as you can, it just like slows you down, backs you up. But yeah, just stay present. Just don't think. What I mean by being present is like, yeah, don't think about the future and don't think about the past. The moment you find yourself like thinking of it, just cut it right away. And I think an easy thing to stay present is just take a deep breath. One deep breath. Like when you're like in a test, you know, when people have test anxiety.
Yeah.
You're in the future, right? You're thinking about, oh, I'm gonna bomb or I'm gonna pass. Instead, you guys take a deep breath and just cross the bridge as you get there. That's all I gotta say.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for Ryan.
Mm.
Well, how much money did you have in the 4th grade?
How much money did I have?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan. How much did you have?
Because like me,
Why did you get richer after my money was gone?
No, I didn't steal. I didn't sit with you at all during 4th grade, man. I did not sit with you at all. That I remember. But like money, I don't remember how much I had though. But I remember one time after one of the auctions, I had enough to own my own desk.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There we go.
Like, I had enough to cash out, basically.
4th grader's dream.
Yeah, to own their desk. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Damn.
Yep.
How's the huh?
In your 4th grade, Omar, at your school, did you guys have classroom money or no?
I don't think so. I don't think we did. No.
Oh man.
Ryan, I guess that's just our school then.
It's just our school then, yeah.
We did go to the Star of India, which is like a boat,
Uh-huh.
like a old like pirate ship. It's like a 1800, 1700 boat.
But did you learn about corruption and injustice and the justice?
Was Kodak black on the boat?
We learned about working on the boat and being at the bottom of the boat. And that shit was claustrophobic as hell.
Did you learn how to climb back up after being stolen from? After being going from a wealthy landlord to the bottom of the classroom rug.
No, we learned how to rob. And that's
did you learn that, Omar?
We learned how to rob, and that's why you're broke now.
That's how it is, man. 4th grade. 4th grade corruption. I guess we'll close it out with this, my final message. I'd say, fuck, I ain't got no message. That was it. Thank you guys for listening to my, I'd say this is a part 1. I think I'm willing to share more later on. I think this is a good introduction to see it, like, what I know at the top of my head. Like I said, at the end of the day, I'm 22 years old. Like, there's still a lot of stuff that I don't know and a lot of stuff I'm figuring out. But at the end of the day, I know, like, I'm very blessed to have friends like you guys who always have my back, and to have a lot of loyal friends who, you know how time goes on, people like come and go. I'm just so lucky that like there's a lot of people who have been a part of my life and still are part of my life for like 7+ years and going strong. And I know deep down inside that's about to change soon. I shall end it there. Thanks, guys, for listening. We want to thank our sponsors.
And Ireland.
And Ireland.
Do we have any other sponsor but Anchor?
Ireland.
Just Anchor. We want to thank the country of Ireland for being the #1 DeezQuibs watched country, more than the US, surprisingly.
Yes.
Which you guys, we love anyone who supports us, and we hope to one day have a meet and greet in Ireland. I'm calling it now. So thanks, guys, for listening. Download the Anchor app if you haven't. Go to the Anchor website, anchor.fm.com. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Yeah, also listen on Spotify.
Yes, sir. Omar, anything else? Hurry!
Ooga booga.
I ain't been up on the block in a minute. I've been missing out the walk with the minute. I've been building up the blocks like a minute. Elliot, the water dripping out the city. Oh my God, boy, he got a Glock. Oh my God, boy, that boy on top.